Guys, so like I said, I'm going to do an example for you. So first of all, I'm going to open up a new page. So I go to File, New, and if I go to Print, it comes up with paper sizes. So I'm going to click A4, and I'm going to press Create. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to input my image that I have taken a photograph. What I've done is I like using digital kind of software as well. And I know some of you do have this at home as well. So I've used Procreate, and I'll kind of put this in front. And what I've done is I have created my drawings on Procreate, and I will be inputting them in. But what I want to really, first of all, really stress is that with these drawings, you don't want them too complex, and you want to make sure, just like when we did the last Photoshop workshop, that all of your lines are enclosed. You don't have any kind of white area that's free, because when you fill in a colour, it's going to fill in everything. So just making sure that your drawings are simplified in a way to make sure that it's not too complex when you start adding colour, and also that you haven't got any white space, that when you fill a colour in, it's not going to completely fill the whole page in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to, once I find it, Open Place maybe, and I'm going to go to my desktop. You'll see my name now. And I'm going to input the image that I have emailed, but you could take a photograph of this as well, of your drawings. Okay, so you can see here I've got my template, my page that I'm going to create that lovely kaleidoscope effect. And what I've done is I've made sure that I've got some images that are kind of partially cut off, because when you start creating your repeat and you've only got things in the middle, you're gonna kind of create almost a cross effect in white. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start filling in with some colour. So I'm going to go to this tool here, and I'm going to go to the paint bucket tool, and just like in Photoshop, I'm going to start selecting whatever colour I want. Okay, and then it's saying I need to rasterify that, which means basically I need to basically delete a section, and it'll just say okay. And now when I go to use the paint bucket tool, it will let me do that. I don't know why it says I have to rasterify it. I don't quite understand it, but it doesn't matter. So now I can start adding in my colours. Okay, and this is why it's really important that you take your time when you're doing your drawings and you're simplifying them, because otherwise this would be really, really complex. You'd have sections of white still there, and I'm just filling these in nice and easy. I'm thinking about where my colours are placed. Maybe I want some nice blues. You know, you could use realistic colours, you could use colours which are more abstract, I guess. I wouldn't try to use every single colour ever imaginable, just because you don't want your work to look too busy. It's quite nice to have a refined colour palette. So maybe I will just stick to blues, pinks and purples, and maybe have a little bit of yellow just to add some pop into it. So I may put that as yellow just because why not? Okay, so you can see how I'm doing this. And I'm also going to change the colour of my background, so I want a really, really nice bright blue. Okay, so you guys are going to spend more time doing this. I'm just doing this really, really, really quickly to show you. So if I zoom out and I crop the page, so I draw my cropped area, over my image and I drag and create a bigger area. So I'm kind of imagining that would fit all four. It may give me a little bit more space, but that is fine. Ooh, that doesn't normally happen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink it instead. I'm going to select all these buttons here, and I'm now going to shrink it. So if I zoom in, and this is, you know, the thing with Photopea is it's not exactly like Photoshop. It's very, very, very similar. But you can see, even when I just went to do something like that, it didn't quite work. So I had to think about another way of recreating it. So now I've got a smaller image, and hopefully I'll be able to fit all four in. So I'll go to copy, paste. And now I've got what I should do. Maybe I need to select all. There we go. Now I've got my other image, and what I can do is if I go to image, transform, and then you can see you flip horizontally, flip vertically. So if I do the horizontal to begin with, you can see how that has flipped that. And now I'm thinking, why has it flipped both of them? Another way you can do it, which what I would normally do, is I would drag this one and I would make it to the same size. Drag it along. Paste another one in. Again, I'm having to go to select all. And now I can flip it this way. If I put it back up to the original image, it will ensure it's the right size. And then if I drag it down, oh, there we go. And then if I select all again, copy, edit, paste, I now have my last one, and this time I can flip it this way, and then I can flip it down. If your area is too big or too small, you can then, we should be able to use the crop tool. Not sure why it's not letting me do that. But if that does happen, I can just make these areas smaller, or even just crop these top bits here. But if I zoom in, let me zoom in, you can really see how adding those bits in the center have created that kaleidoscope effect. If I didn't have those, I'd have a big chunk missing here and up here as well. But I hope this helps. If you're still a little bit confused, please let me know. And I look forward to seeing your results.